Uh,
Go from there. Yeah, Shalom Akim. Yeah, we back live. The Prince of the Power of the Air. Was messing with the stream. So we back with a part 2 through the Spirit, and we're gonna continue in the point we were making before it was interrupted. So the brother's gonna reread that quote.
uh, yeah. So the question was, what defines a master in a certain discipline? To be considered a master in a specific discipline, an individual needs to demonstrate a profound level of knowledge, skill, and understanding that transcends basic proficiency or even expertise.
Can you hear me out?
Y'all can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So that before it was cut off the first time, the point I was making is so basically you've been taught something, you've been shown something, you've been shown the way, and now you have to walk through it, and that's the experience. But then like a black belt, you get to a certain level where you mastered it, to now you could teach it. Now you can show others that way, and that's the process that the Lord has us on. But then when you become a black belt, it doesn't just stop there. All right, there's like different degrees of black belts.
Yeah,
So you don't just get to the point where now you teaching and you just kick back and you comfortable. No, you still have to go through your daily disciplines as a spiritual black belt, so to speak.
yeah,
Because you never know when the next test is coming your way.
that's right, bro. And to your point, because it dives even deeper, there's key characteristics that defines a master in a given field. So the first point is deep and comprehensive understanding. It says a master possesses a thorough grasp of the theoretical frameworks, principles, and concepts within their chosen discipline. And in the case of the Akim, it's this ministry of reconciliation. This walk of the
Right.
straight gate, right? It says allowing them to not just apply, but also critically analyze, evaluate, and contribute to the field. So, as a brother was saying, just to land back, there's levels. There's certain degrees to being a master. In martial arts, you got I think it goes up to 7 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. As in being a black belt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You
Yep.
know, but there's different approaches, so to speak. There's different ways to uh, be proficient in this walk. You know, let me get this next bullet point right here.
Yeah.
It says
Con.
highly developed skills. It says mastery involves the ability to perform the core skills of the discipline with exceptional proficiency, ease, and adaptability,
Right.
even in even in complex and novel situations. This often goes beyond simply following
Mm.
rules, leading to the development of a unique style or approach within the discipline. You know,
See, look at that. Yep. Yeah. That's all very relevant to what we're going through right now. So what we're going through, yeah, we know the scriptures, but the real test is applying the scriptures.
Yeah.
Just like in martial arts, you may know, you may have been taught a combination of strikes, but do you understand? Do you understand the reasoning and when to use these strikes and why you're using it and exactly what you're doing and when not to use it? Likewise, us in this truth, applying the scriptures, yeah, we know that things are required of us. We know that the mark of the beast is coming. You know, we got to resist the hour of temptation.
Yeah.
We've been taught all these things, but then there's actually going through it. We
Yeah.
know that this world is in wickedness, and we understand why it's wicked. We understand why we have to go through what we're going through. We understand all these things, and the way the Lord is having us understand it is we're living it out. That's the experience.
Yeah.
And there's levels to that experience. That's why you got the apostles and elders, men that have been in, over 20 years, 30 years, on down.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have, like the brother
And
was
then you
saying,
got Yahushai. Oh, go ahead. It's a lot.
no, Salakia, no, bro. Just saying, I was just gonna say,
Oh, I was just,
go ahead, bro.
oh no, I was saying, you got Yahushai, you know, the former of everything, and the different, you know, carnations he came in, as
Yeah,
Solomon, so he has all the experience. He knows what all of this is about. He fully experienced wickedness, and now we're sharing that experience with him.
that's right, bro. I just wanted to read these last few points here. Uh,
Con.
it says continuous learning and adaptability, right? It says mastery isn't a
Continuous.
final destination, but rather an ongoing journey of learning and improvement, where the individual remains
Yep.
open to new ideas and adapts their knowledge and skills to evolving contexts.
That's the spirit.
Uh,
Yeah, as long as we here on this and going through this walk, you never, even the apostles will tell you, you never reach a level to where it just stops.
yeah,
To where you just hit the limit, of what you learned. This is an ongoing learning process.
that's right.
This
And
is
a
an
map,
ongoing sacrifice.
Salaki, bro.
Nah, you got it,
Yeah, we
bro.
got now. Yeah, Salaki, it's a little lag, so Salaki. But I was gonna say, and even a master, anything they'll tell you to, to some degree that they're still students, you know,
Right.
because it's always like you just said,
Right.
it's always something new to learn within your discipline. It's always something to perfect, you know,
Yeah.
and
And see,
when you quote,
humility. Oh, Salaki, I was just saying humility comes right along with that. Like when you have that mindset, you're automatically humble. You automatically humbled yourself.
that's right, bro. But let me jump back to this Romans 12,
Con.
picking up at verse 2. It says, "And be not conformed
Oh,
to
and
this
the
world."
last,
Go ahead, bro.
so like a real quick point, because the last part of verse 1, it says, "This is your reasonable service."
Mhm.
All right. So this right of passage that we're going through, when you really look at it, it's a privilege, because our inheritance that we're coming into, we didn't do anything to deserve it. We didn't do anything to we didn't do anything to deserve it. All right. It is just simply we were chosen, Lord willing, selected
That's right, bro.
to come into this. So it's only in considering, all of the things we did in this world and in past lives that caused us to, transgress against the Heavenly Father. A lot of us have done things worthy of death in this present time before we came into the truth. But
Yeah,
yet, through the Most High's abundant mercy and His promise, we still have this opportunity. So it's only reasonable for us to sacrifice and give everything we have for the Lord, and give whatever's required of us. Yep, I
yeah,
just
bro.
wanted to make that point.
Okay, bro. You beautifully said. Uh, but reading on to verse 2, it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai."
That's right, and you could speak on
It's,
that.
no, yeah, but yeah, it starts, you know, with the inward man, you know, uh, and it comes with that baptism by fire. That's how the transformation is conducted. You know, that purification process, and it's designed in such a way to not be tugged, so to speak, or consumed rather by this world. You know, to know, it says to know, or it says to prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And what is the will of the Lord? The will of the Most High Father is for His chosen vessels to follow after uh, His chosen Lamb, which is His only begotten Son.
That's
Which
right,
leads to everlasting life, which leads them to uh, being back in good graces, man. Which leads them back to
right,
rulership over all creation. You know, verse 3, real quick.
yeah,
It says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, have dealt to every man the measure of faith." And that goes into the statement you just made, bro, about
right,
the master, how
yep,
humility is involved. You know?
right, right, yep, that's right. Yeah, because we're all in this together, just like a ceremony. You have, those that the class of graduates, so to speak. We're that's us, Lord willing. We all in this together, like it says in Peter concerning the fiery trial, and strange things that happen to us. That's accomplished in all of our brothers that's out here.
Right, bro. Uh, I was in on this Romans right here, bro.
Con, did you had anything else?
Mm, bro.
But hey, and that's the whole. Lord, we hit the point. which is that everything we're going through is necessary. All right, it's necessary, and the worst things we go through in all actuality is less than what we actually deserve. All
Yeah,
right, but like Yahushua told James and John, that you're going to indeed drink of this cup, and we're all drinking of the cup, which represents the things that pop up on this narrow road, for us individually. But the thing about it is it's not going to be the full cup that Yahushua drank. We're all just sipping, different portions from that cup. And the point I'm making is that, whatever portion of the cup we're given to drink, the Most High knows that we could deal with it. That's what the scriptures say. All right. So it's nothing. What's coming for us in the future. We know about to go through persecution and temptation, but it's nothing to have anxiety or worry over. Doubt demons, because whatever's getting ready to happen to myself, whatever's getting ready to happen to this brothers, whatever's getting ready to happen to whichever brother apostles, the Lord knows we could make it through it. He knows we could deal with it. That's why he gave it to us.
that's right.
Right. So that mindset right there brings comfort
That's right,
and
bro.
exhortation.
Con,
But this is definitely necessary, and there is no way around it, because we see examples of Israelites, leaders of camp, where they don't teach about this, and they're teaching their congregation that there's a way around suffering for the Lord. Just much like the Christian church, that really that's what the whole rapture doctrine is about.
yeah,
When the scriptures say contrary, the scriptures say through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. What is that much tribulation? A rite of passage.
that's right, bro.
Yep.
That's it, man. And we have to partake in the sufferings of our Lord Yahweh Shai, to be made
That's
perfect.
it.
You know?
Right. That's it. There's no way around that. And if you accept that, it is so much peace. If you just accept whatever you got to deal with, whatever comes your way, you'll find peace in that. But when you try to fight against it, when you try to, you know, um, go around it, that's what brings you even more stress. But I got something. I got something.
Go ahead. I
And
got some
it's
follow up
right.
after you too.
Okay. What it's right here is Sirach, the second chapter, right? And this chapter right here is we never, you want to really read this when you first come into the truth, so what's getting ready to happen to you. But this is something we never stop reading. So this is Sirach 2. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright," which heart means mind. So get your mind right. It says, "And constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." All right. So when these things happen, when you fight against it and try to find it, an easy way out, that easy way out can cause you to go off, or it can cause you to bring more hell.
Yeah,
All right, or just further, whatever is going on. All right, but when you accept it, now you could think in the spirit. Now you could move with logic, and use the tools that the Lord gave us to get through. It says, "Cleave unto Him," and that's the thing. A lot of the times when you're trying to escape the hell and find the out of this rite of passage, you're seeking other things outside of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But here he told us, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And that's the point. That's what it's about. That's what this whole thing is about. We're going to be increased, just like Yahweh Shai was. When he came on the earth lowly and meek, as Yahweh Shai, as a sheep, so to speak, had to sacrifice himself. That wasn't his last stand. All right. He was increased. He's the, outside of the Most High Yahweh, he's the most powerful force in the whole universe. And everything has been given to him.
Uh,
And he is written in his story that he's going to share that type of glory with his men, with those that endure to the end on this earth right now. All right. But we have to go through our rite of passage, just as he did.
that's it,
And
bro.
that's the point.
Con. We can close on this one right here, bro.
Con, con.
2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 5 in the New Living Translation. It says, "For the more we suffer for Yahweh Shai, the more Yahweh will shower us with his comfort through Yahweh Shai."
That's it.
You know?
That's it. Hey, I know you've experienced this too. When you catching some type of major hail, have you noticed that the Lord always like boosts and increase your spirit?
Yeah,
Your
bro.
spiritual senses and awareness. The spirit is like dealing with you more while you're catching the hail.
Yeah,
Now
bro.
all of a sudden you in the spirit even more than you were before you were catching that hail. That's how
Con. Yeah, and it's wild that you say that too, bro. Cause that's what it's designed to do. And just like
right,
the Apostle Gabar, he always made mention of what the elder Apostle Tahar used to tell them, back in the day about how you gotta love to learn to catch hell. Because
that's it.
as odd as it may sound, when you catching hell, uh, it gives you a sense of freedom. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah,
and understand where the hell is coming from, who putting the hell on you, and you're anticipating the solution that's going to be provided to your hell. So you basically you're constantly looking for the Lord to act on your behalf.
right, right.
So
That's it.
so
Yeah,
so it's a beautiful thing to partake, uh, uh, to suffer for the Lord, man. You know, to
that's right.
suffer
Reasonable service.
to suffer cheerfully. You know, yeah, man. But a regular individual in the world would think we're bugged for talking like that, but nah, you don't understand that the suffering isn't in vain. You know, and especially when that suffering is increased, when it comes time to completely put off this world, yeah, the comfort and the reward that's going to be given for that is going to be beyond. It's going to be beyond what we can ever imagine, man.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Hey, so yeah, through the spirit, me and the brother decided to, go in on this topic because we're all catching hell. All of us that are of Yahweh Shai's, the hell, the temptations, Satan, the workload of slavery, everything has increased and is being intensified because we're getting closer to the end. So it's very needful to remind ourselves first and foremost, and all the believers of where this is coming from. All
Yeah.
right. Yep. So not only where it's coming from, understanding where it's coming from, but also understanding that we're still headed to a destination. The Lord just ain't gonna have this continue on forever. That's just here. amongst these wicked people catching hell, doing these videos, driving in traffic on the way to camp. Like this isn't gonna be forever. The kingdom of heaven where we're headed to, that's what's getting ready to be eternal forever.
Uh,
Yeah. So unless you got any closing words, I'll close it out.
I'll go ahead, bro.
All right. And Salaki, I know my screen went dark, the night crept up on this here. But all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Bahashai,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem, Bahashai,
Waharakah, Kodash. Again, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.